is an exclusive from Leading the Ring.
Tonight on Showtime, you had Israel Vasquez versus Rafael Marquez, and then you had Abner Mares versus Yonnhy Perez. We should have Yanni Perez scheduled to call in and tell us about his opinion about what he thinks about that fight. If you want to call in the show, you guys can call in right now, 347-215-7598. I believe I got my co-host Gabriel Montoya on the line with me, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm at the after party for Vasquez Marquez 4. Things are good. It's a little cold here in L.A. A hell of a fight, hell of an atmosphere, though, man. The crowd was ridiculously on its feet for most of the Mares Perez fight. And I've never seen this before, maybe except one time after Margarito Cotto. After the fight was all over, the whole crowd stayed. They all stood on their feet, and they applauded these warriors as they left the ring. It was truly something to see. It was truly a tremendous night.
I really thought that, Mares was going to do good in the beginning rounds. It was a lot of questions a lot of fight fans and media were having is whether or not he was going to be able to survive the late rounds. And then the bout turned around. It seemed like every third round, the fight would, turn around and it would go to somebody else's momentum. You know what I mean, Gabriel?
Even within the rounds, you'd have one guy start fast and then kind of fade in the middle, then the other guy would come on, and then they'd trade down the stretch. It was not an easy fight to score. But, I wouldn't want their jobs, although Gwen Adair, universally on press row, everybody says, very nice lady. Universally on press row, they all said she always screws up her scorecards. So I tend to think that she got it wrong. I think it was at least 7-5 for Mares. Everybody came away. He seemed devastated by the loss. I thought Perez, lost nothing in the fight. I thought he was tremendous, but I just felt that Mares won.
It was funny because in the first 3 rounds, 4 rounds, you had both these guys, both warriors going forward, attacking each other, doing exactly what we thought they were going to do. There was no really fill-out round. They just went at each other because of the fact they knew each other already. They had fought each other 3 times. They lived in with each other, training-wise. They were very comfortable with each other. So when they went head-on, it was because they were in familiar territory. But the thing that got me going was right after that 3rd or 4th round, Mares for a moment seemed to me a little confused. It seemed like he wasn't really sure whether or not if he should just release his whole load. That's what I got from the fight. I thought, okay, you know what? He's obviously going to use the fresher legs that he possesses in this fight, and he started to do a little bit of dancing, so it looked like Yanni Perez's pressure might have been a little too much. Then, going down, the trail down to the late rounds, the championship rounds, you saw Mares put the pressure on, and Yanni Perez looked a little confused, and he looked a little gassed out. Both guys, to me, they were I don't know if they were landing great big shots on each other, but there were some telling shots, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Yanni Perez, are you on the line with us, brother?
How you doing, my friend?
Good. ¿Cómo sientes?
Todo bien, mi hermano.
Okay. Mira, Yanni, yo voy a hablar en inglés y ella va a hablar en español, ¿ok?
Está bien, chévere, mi hermano.
Obviously, it was a great fight, great war. It turned out to be exactly what a lot of us had believed it was going to happen. Now, how is he feeling about the decision being a draw?
Hola, Yonnhy. Primera pregunta, tu pelea hoy resultó ser una muy buena pelea, una tremenda guerra, como todos esperábamos. Y quieren saber cómo te sientes acerca de la decisión del empate.
Pues, ya tú sabes que yo soy el ganador, yo soy campeón. Si él quiere una revancha, pues hacemos la revancha lo más pronto posible, pero yo me siento bien. Él no me pegó, no siento nada, ahorita puedo pelear 12 más rounds si quiere el man.
He says he is a winner, he's a champion. If he wants a rematch, they will do the rematch as soon as possible if that's what he wants. Physically, he feels great. He feels in good shape, and he feels like he's ready to go 12 more rounds if he needs to right now.
The body shots look like it ended up taking a toll on him in the later rounds. How much of an effect was it for him? He started dropping his hands, and he started walking backward in the late rounds.
Yo creía que estaba ganando por una porción muy grande. Ya al fin yo pues estaba tratando de mirar para el knockout. y a ese tiempo pues me agarraron unos ponches que no lo sentía, entonces era una parte de él, pero yo a ese tiempo yo creía que yo estaba mirando el knockout.
He says that by that time he already felt that he was winning comfortably the fight, so he was just looking for the knockout. And in his search for the knockout, he could cut him with some good body, but he was really looking for the knockout.
You know, looking for the knockout, though, watching the fight, it looked like he had lost some steam to his punches, though. Did he feel that he was losing steam? Did he feel still strong through the 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th round?
No, pues sí me agarraron unos buenos counter punches allá al último. Entonces, a ese tiempo, pues retirar un hook ya en el 12 round. Pero yo sí me siento que ya al fin de la pelea, pues me estaba tirando unos counter punches que me sentía un poco cansado, pero ya al fin del round, pues yo prácticamente estaba mirando para el knockout.
Yeah, he says that it is true that he caught him with some very good counter punches by the late rounds, and those made him feel a little bit tired by the end. Still, he was just looking for that knockout.
Yanni, this is Gabriel Montoya with Max Boxing. I'm curious, were you surprised that Abner took the fight to the inside and pressed you to the ropes and was as aggressive as he was? And if so, or if not, was there anything that he did that did surprise you?
No te di la pregunta, pero prácticamente lo que estoy ahorita es, yo soy el campeón. Si él quiere una revancha, pues él ya sabe dónde buscarme, pero prácticamente ahorita me siento bien, pues prácticamente me siento pues mejor que antes de que empecé la pelea. Los últimos 2 rounds prácticamente me dio unos 2, 3, ahí más o menos en el 11 y el 12 round, pero pues ya fue el último round.
Yeah, he says he wasn't that surprised. He feels good. He says he feels good. He feels happy. He feels now even better than before starting the fight. The only thing he says is that, well, maybe that could surprise him a little bit more was in the late rounds, the punches that he caught him with during the late rounds, even though he connected a good hook by the end.
Was he surprised a little bit on how Mares decided to get on his bike pedal a little bit and backtrack away from Yanni instead of engaging like he was for the first 3-4 rounds?
Pues prácticamente Abner y yo hemos peleado muchas veces en Olympics y practicando y él sabe cómo pelear. Yo más o menos peleo frente a frente y estuvo corriendo por mucho tiempo, pero ya al fin del round él supo que estuvo perdiendo y prácticamente no tenía chance, pero ir cara a cara en los últimos rounds.
Abner knows him. He knows how he fights. They have fought each other several times during the Olympics and so on. And he knows that Yonnhy is a fighter that fights face to face, like toe to toe. At the end, he decided to run a little bit more. He feels that he knew he was losing the fight, so that might be why he just decided to, not be so aggressive.
Were the 3 amateur fights that we haven't seen as close as this fight? And does he believe that every time will be this difficult, or will now that they fought as pros, will he be able to be more effective in the rematch?
Pues tenemos la revancha. Y yo estoy ya listo para la revancha. Yo quiero rematch. Si él quiere rematch, pues yo creo que gané 21-0 y ahorita tengo 20-0-1. Yo creo que necesito otra rematch para que todo el mundo sepa que yo soy el campeón.
Pero las peleas que ustedes tuvieron amateur fueron peleas cerradas, se ganaron por una decisión cerrada. O sea,
pues yo le gané y él sabe.
He says that he feels he won the fight, and he's ready for the rematch, so that he can prove that he is really the champion and that he really beat Abner. He was 21-0 before, he's now 21-01, and he just wants to show that he really won the fight. As far as the amateur, well, all he said was, I won the fight, and Abner knows.
I definitely want to see a rematch. The first fight, this fight, it was great. It was a great fight. You know, I'm gonna later on sit down and watch it again. But if he doesn't get a rematch immediately with Abner Mares, would he be willing and wanting to get in with Fernando Montiel?